Hello everyone, and welcome to my BTG official channel. Bill sat by the fireplace, his usual calm demeanor shadowed by weariness. He had been through countless betrayals and heartbreaks, yet nothing had prepared him for the betrayal that waited for him tonight, from someone he loved and trusted with his life, Hayley. Her smile that evening was sweet, her tone soft, her gestures affectionate. But behind those honeyed words and tender eyes lay a storm of resentment and greed. Hayley had carefully mixed poison into Bill's favorite drink, a fine glass of aged whiskey, knowing that within minutes of him drinking it, his body would begin to fail him. It was a plan months in the making, a dark plot designed to look like a tragic accident. If everything went according to her scheme, Bill would die, and no one would suspect her. His death would be mourned, but she would inherit everything he owned, walking away free and rich. Yet fate, as it often does, had other plans, and that plan was named Dani. Dani had always been the one person who could see through facades. Her instincts were sharp, and her loyalty to Bill was unwavering. While others were blinded by Hayley's charm, Dani had sensed something sinister growing beneath her perfect exterior. She noticed the way Hayley's eyes flickered when Bill mentioned Jacob, how her hands trembled ever so slightly when she poured a drink, and the way she avoided direct questions about her late-night phone calls with Randy. Dani didn't have concrete proof, but every fiber of her being screamed that something was wrong. Tonight, that gut feeling was stronger than ever. As Dani entered the living room, her heels clicking softly against the floor, she saw Hayley standing near the bar counter, her back turned, a bottle of whiskey in her hand. The sight would have seemed ordinary to anyone else, but Dani's instincts flared. Hayley was too precise, too careful with the bottle. Dani's eyes narrowed, catching the subtle movement of Hayley stirring something into the drink. A small vial, clear as glass, glinted briefly in the dim light before Hayley slipped it back into her pocket. Dani's heart began to pound. "Hayley," she said, her voice steady but edged with suspicion. "Bill's been asking for you." Hayley turned, startled for a brief second before masking it with a smile. "Oh, Dani. You scared me. I was just fixing him a drink. You know how he likes it." Dani's eyes flicked to the glass on the tray, the amber liquid shimmered under the chandelier. Something about it made her skin crawl. She forced a smile, feigning casual curiosity. "Mind if I take it to him? I was just heading that way." Hayley hesitated, her fingers tightening around the tray. "Oh, that's sweet of you, but I'll do it. It's our little tradition," she replied with a sweet tone that didn't match the nervous flicker in her eyes. Dani knew right then that she was right. Her pulse raced as a surge of adrenaline shot through her veins. She had to act fast, one wrong move, and Hayley would suspect she knew too much. Pretending to back off, Dani shrugged. "Of course. I'll let you have your moment," she said softly, then turned away, but her mind was already spinning. She needed to stop Bill from drinking that poison, no matter what it took. Bill was sitting in the lounge, reading over some old business papers, unaware of the danger walking toward him. When Hayley entered, she was a vision of elegance, her dress shimmering like gold against the firelight. She carried the tray gracefully, her lips curved into a smile that could have fooled even the most observant man. "Here you go, darling," she cooed, placing the glass before him. "You've had a long day. This will help you relax." Bill looked up at her, weary but affectionate. "You always know what I need," he said, reaching for the glass. But just as his fingers brushed against it, Dani burst into the room. "Bill, wait," she shouted, breathless. Both Bill and Hayley turned in shock, Bill startled, Hayley masking her panic behind a concerned look. "Dani? What's wrong?" Bill asked, his brow furrowing. Dani walked forward slowly, her gaze fixed on the drink. "Don't drink that," she said firmly, her voice shaking slightly. Hayley laughed lightly, trying to defuse the tension. "Oh, come on, Dani. It's just whiskey. You're acting strange tonight." Dani ignored her. She picked up the glass, holding it up to the light. "Maybe. But let's find out, shall we?" The silence was deafening. Hayley's mask was beginning to crack, her eyes darted toward the exit, her lips tightening. Bill watched the two women, confusion and growing alarm battling inside him. Dani set the glass down carefully. "I saw you, Hayley," she said quietly. "You mixed something into this drink. I don't know what it was, but I know it wasn't love." Hayley's expression hardened. "You're out of your mind," she hissed. "You've always been jealous, always meddling in things that don't concern you." "Jealous?" Dani snapped. "No, Hayley, I'm terrified for Bill. You think I didn't notice your little games? The phone calls, the secret meetings, the sudden life insurance policy you convinced him to sign last week?" Bill's face drained of color. "What is she talking about, Hayley?" Hayley's composure shattered. "She's lying, Bill. She's trying to turn you against me." But before she could continue, Dani grabbed her wrist, the same wrist that had held the vial moments ago. She yanked it up, forcing the small glass tube into view. "Then explain this," Dani shouted, her voice trembling with fury. For a moment, time froze. The truth lay bare in front of them all, the vial gleaming like a shard of betrayal. Bill stared at it, his heart breaking as realization dawned. "Hayley, you were going to kill me," he whispered, disbelief etched in every word. Hayley's face twisted in desperation. "No, Bill, I didn't mean." But Bill's eyes had already hardened. "Enough," he said, his voice low but full of finality. The next few minutes were chaos. Hayley tried to flee, but Dani blocked her path. Security was called. Jacob arrived moments later, confirming Dani's suspicions. The poison, later identified as a lethal, odorless toxin, was enough to kill within minutes. If Dani hadn't intervened, Bill would have been dead before anyone realized what had happened. When the police finally took Hayley away, she looked back one last time, her eyes filled with a mixture of hatred and regret. "You think you've won, Dani?" she spat. "This isn't over. You'll regret crossing me." But Dani stood tall, unflinching. "I'd rather regret saving a life than live with the guilt of watching an innocent man die," she replied. That night, as the mansion finally grew quiet again, Bill sat by the fire, his hands trembling slightly. Dani joined him, her presence a silent comfort. For the first time in years, he looked vulnerable, a man who had narrowly escaped death at the hands of someone he once loved. "Thank you," he murmured, his voice hoarse. "You saved my life." Dani smiled faintly, though her heart still ached from the weight of what had happened. "You don't have to thank me. You've always treated me like family. I couldn't let her destroy that." Bill nodded slowly, his eyes reflecting the firelight. "I trusted her completely," he said bitterly. "I thought she loved me." "She loved what you had," Dani said softly. "Not who you are."